Here in New York, the defense began a tough cross-examination of Miguel Martinez yesterday, suggesting the witness is blinded by his hate for El Chapo. Of course, we're talking about the El Chapo trial. Martinez testified Joaquin El Chapo Guzman ordered attacks on him 4 separate times, from which he suffered a perforated lung and a wound to his intestine. But the defense argued this would give Martinez more of a reason to lie on the stand.
So the defense also suggested that perhaps his memory might be a little bit defective because of his cocaine addiction. It was so intense at one point that it put a hole through his septum, just to get that visual. So joining us now is CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman to talk a little bit about this. So, Rikki, this intense cross-examination, we hear details about the witness's life, including his drug addiction, including the various injuries that he endured because of, well, according to him, El Chapo kind of putting an attack out on him. What does it say about his character?
Well, it says a lot about his character, which the defense would say means he should not be believed. I mean, that's the entire force of the defense's beginning of its cross-examination. Right. And this is what we call a rapid-fire cross-examination. It's ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. The questions come in order to not allow this witness time to think. And then the defense lawyer can pull back. So what does he do? He even brings in packages of Splenda and pours them out to talk about the cocaine addiction as a prop. See, I like that stuff because the courtroom is theater. And if we deny the fact that it is theater, we really are not being truthful, because the defense, as well as the prosecution, needs to keep this jury interested for approximately 4 months. Well, this may be one of their most interesting witnesses. So as you pointed out, where are his areas of vulnerability? Drug addiction at a level that most of us have never seen or heard of, or perhaps we have read about in some news release. We have the fact that, of course, he hates him. He hates El Chapo because allegedly he certainly believes that El Chapo orchestrated hits on him not once, but 4 times when he was in prison, including the fact of people throwing grenades into his cell when he had to hide behind a toilet bowl to not really be killed. In addition to that, where the defense is going to perhaps go a bit slower and going to really kind of drag out the reality of it, this is a guy who got an 18-year sentence, which was already a good deal to someone who was going to face multiple life terms in prison. But then, out of the blue, he says, the prosecution just decided they would reduce it to 6 years. And then he was put in the witness protection program, and he's living a life in the United States of America. So that has to do with why someone might make up stories. One of the things that happens in drug cases, just like organized crime cases, is the witnesses are dirty. And when they are cooperating witnesses who have participated to this level that Martinez has, as well as the fact of the first big cooperator, Jesus Zambada, has, that they have a reason to tell the jury what they want the jury to believe according to the prosecution.
Before we let you go, what do you expect for next week?
Well, I think that what we're doing is it will depend on if this cross-examination is finished today. There are more cooperating witnesses to come. Of course, there are agents to come. The story is out there, but you can't believe the defense will say the cooperators alone. We have to have backup evidence to corroborate their testimony.
All right, Rikki Klieman, always great to have you. You know, I like when Rikki says the trial is theater, because it kind of is at some points. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Rikki.